Hola, 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 soy yo Vicky otra vez. Hope you're all well. Espero que todo bien, como siempre. In today's video, we're going to look at the family. Vamos a hablar de la familia en español y el vocabulario que necesitas para hablar de la familia, ¿vale? Okay, so first of all, we have el abuelo, which is grandfather, and the diminutive, if you like, the more informal, is abuelito or yeye. So you might hear any of those to describe someone's grandfather, ranging from the sort of more formal down to the informal. So el abuelo is más o menos grandfather. Abuelito, granddad, grandpa, and yeye, similar, very informal, grandpappy, granddaddy, one of those sort of words. Okay, so el abuelo, el abuelito, or el yeye. I love yeye. I think it's a really nice word. And then the female equivalent, the grandmother, which is la abuela or abuelita or yaya. I can just see my dog photobombing in the background there going up the stairs. So la abuela, abuelita or yaya. And that, of course, is grandmother, grandma, granny, Jima, nanny. We have so many words, don't we? And I think when people become a grandma, they decide which one they like best to be called. I'm not a grandma yet, but I would like to be. I sort of am, because my son has a German Shepherd and he calls me Jima. Well, not the dog doesn't call me that. That's what my son calls me to the dog. So Jima. That will probably be one day, hopefully, when I become a grandma, I will be a Jima. Okay, so in Spanish, la abuela, abuelita, or yaya. Again, I actually like yaya as well, so that would be quite nice too. Okay, and then la madre. I am so useless at holding up these cards. I don't know, it never seems to get any better. La madre, yeah, that's the formal way, like mother. Then we've got mama or mummy. Now, mummy is perhaps a little bit more South American than Spanish, but you may be watching, you may be learning South American Spanish because you live in America. And yeah, that would relate to mummy, mammy, mum, mam, and la madre is more mother. So again, in English, we seem to have more words. People think Spanish is more difficult, but actually, I think there's more words in English. Okay, then we're going to look at el nieto, which is grandson. And la nieta is granddaughter, and los nietos is the collective term for grandchildren. Okay, so if I was saying no tengo nietos, yeah, I don't have any grandchildren. No tengo nietos. So to talk about children we have, or grandchildren, etc., or any members of the family, like I have 5 cousins, we'd use the verb tener, to have, so tengo, or no tengo for the negative. So, el nieto, la nieta, or los nietos. Another thing I think that's important to point out, if we were saying things like he is my brother or she is my sister, any member of the family, we would use the verb ser, because there's 2 reasons for that. It's possessive, as for one of the criteria that we use ser for. belonging to me. Yes, my sister, my brother. Also, it's personal relationships. So we would always say es mi hermano, not está mi hermano. Which brings us to hermano, which is brother, and la hermana. Remember, we don't pronounce the H. So el hermano, la hermana. And the collective, los hermanos. Now then, if we want to say my little brother, we add on ito to the end. You know, so mi hermanito, my little brother, or mi hermanita, my little sister. If you want to say my older sister or brother, you say mayor, mi hermano mayor, or mi hermana mayor. Oh, and the collective is los hermanos. So I would say, tengo cuatro hermanos. Now that doesn't mean I have 4 brothers, that means I have 4 brothers and sisters. And then if I want to qualify, you know, if they're brothers or sisters, then I have to go on and explain that. So tengo cuatro hermanos, 2 hermanos y 2 hermanas. Okay. Son and daughter and sons and daughters, we use hijo. Again, we don't pronounce the H. The J is a H sound, so el hijo or la hija, los hijos, the collective. So I only have 1, so I would say tengo un hijo. But if I had 4, God forbid, and I would say tengo cuatro hijos. So that would be 4 children, not necessarily 4 sons. So as I'm sure you've gathered by now, to make a collective in Spanish, we take the masculine and make it plural. So son, daughter, sons and daughters, el hijo, la hija y los hijos. Then uncles and aunts, similar, similar way of making them plural. So we have el tío, yeah, uncle, la tía, auntie or aunt, los tíos, uncles and aunts, yeah, or my aunt and uncle. If I was to say my aunt and uncle, I'd say mis tíos, yeah. Even though that sounds like I'm saying, well, and it could be, I'm saying my uncles. So es un poco difícil en español. Cousins. Yeah, so this is nice and easy in English because we just have cousin and cousins. No masculine, no feminine. And for once, the plural collective in English is just adding an S. So in Spanish, el primo, la prima for the masculine and feminine, and then collective cousins, los primos. Yo tengo muchos primos. I have a lot of cousins. I don't even know how many, to be honest. Okay. Then the children of your aunts and uncles, sobrinos. So el sobrino, yeah, the nephew, la sobrina, niece, and the collective, nephews and nieces, or nieces and nephews, los sobrinos. Yo tengo 13 sobrinos, creo. 5, 9 o 11, pues no sé, muchos. Okay, now we're coming to the in-laws or the outlaws, as we might want to call them. Now, in English, we always just add in-law to the, whatever the family member is, we add in-law. In Spanish, no, we've got separate words. So we've got el cuñado for brother-in-law, la cuñada for sister-in-law, And again, brother and sister-in-law or brothers and sisters-in-law, los cuñados. Masculine, collective for the plural. Or masculine, plural for the collective even. Okay, so again, another one where we would use in-law in English, but not in Spanish. Son-in-law, daughter-in-law, sons and daughters-in-law. El yerno is the masculine, son-in-law. La yerna, the daughter-in-law, and los yernos, the collective. And then the mother and father-in-law, el suegro, the father-in-law, la suegra, mother-in-law, y los suegros, father and mother-in-law, the collective. So it could be either father and mother-in-law or fathers and mothers-in-law. Los suegros. Right, and now I just wanted to explain how we would talk about somebody being our stepmother, stepfather, stepson, stepdaughter, stepniece. In English we add step. In Spanish they add astro or astra for feminine, madrastra or padrastro, etc. So a little bit of a mouthful, but that's how we would make the step. We in Spanish we add it onto the end, astro, and it has to be masculine or feminine. And another similar thing, the last member of the family, bis. When we talk about anything that's great, what we say in English, great grandmother, great niece, great grandfather, etc. In Spanish, we add bis to the beginning of the word. It joins up with the word. Bisabuela, bisnieto, bisnieta, great grandson, great granddaughter, etc. So we would, whenever we want to say great, we add bis. Okay, now I hope you found that useful. What's a good idea is to, all the words will be in the description for you to look at, and it'd be a good idea to write about your family, to practice. You can either do it in a family tree type way, or, you know, write it out like a text and then read it out a few times to yourself. You know, the more you can practice the words, the more they stick in here, because obviously just after seeing them once, they won't necessarily stay in there. So we have to repeat, as I always say, repeat, repeat, repeat. Okay, so I hope you found the video useful. If you have, please give me the thumbs up, because that helps me out. If you're new to the channel and you haven't subscribed yet, there's lots more videos that you might find useful. If you feel like it, please have a watch of those, all different levels. Some are grammar, some are vocabulary. And if there's anything you'd particularly like me to cover in a video, please let me know and I will do that. I think that's it. So, oh, and if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. Okay, thank you. Muchas gracias. Te veo en el próximo video. Muchas gracias y adiós.